Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you're keeping well. My name is Taheer, Daya, and I am your host for TDOT'S Talent. This is a show that we have created in order for us to showcase our local and upcoming talent here in Toronto. Excuse me for a second. This over here is one of our good guys. His name is Max. He's going to be sort of like our mascot, our mascot, I guess you could say as well. But the reason why we're here locally showcasing our talent here in Toronto is simply because there's a lot of unrecognized talent here in the city. And when I say unrecognized talent, I mean a lot of unrecognized talent. For a lot of them, it might be because it's a hobby. For some of them, they want to make it into a career, and it's hard to find an agent or somebody to represent them to help them out with their career or perhaps hobby to let them be known. So the reason why I have created, and we have created TDOT'S Talent, and when I say we, I really mean myself as well as my guests that are coming together. We create something so that you guys can watch, recognize, and definitely appreciate. Not to mention this guy over here, Mr. Max. Max Panther Daya is his name. Panther is his middle name. My name is Taheer Daya. He has no choice but to take my last name. I hate to say it, but he is definitely a cutie patootie, aren't you, buddy? Yeah, I'd say so. So ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, he is too cute. Without further ado, I present to you TDOT'S Talent. I really do hope you enjoy our very first show, our very first episode. Ladies and gentlemen, TDOT'S Talent. Hello ladies and gentlemen, how you doing today? I hope you're keeping well. Ladies and gentlemen, this is my new desk right now and for now. This is TDOT'S Talent. It is a TV show that I am hosting in order to show you our local talent here in Toronto. TDOT stands for Toronto Dot. Ontario, you usually say TDOT. But we're cutting out the O on that right now. It's TDOT'S Talent. So I'm really glad that you can join us today, ladies and gentlemen. And you know what? We've got a nice, awesome guest here for us. We've got Mikeraphone ready to hip it off and hip it up with us. Yes, hip it up and hip it off with us. That's what we're going to do. And yes, as for my desk, this is what we're going to do from now on when I'm interviewing people. I'm just going to have my desk as my keyboard. I love it. I think this keyboard is an awesome desk. What do you think? Leave your comments below. Ladies and gentlemen, let me welcome to you my very first guest of TDOT'S Talent. Ladies and gentlemen, Mikeraphone! Hello, good sir.
Yes, what's up,
How are you? How are you?
Good to see you, brother, man.
Good to see you too, good sir.
Blessed, happy to be here.
Yes, thank you for being here yourself. I'm happy to have you.
My pleasure, man. Shout out to TDOT'S Talent.
Most definitely.
Definitely lots of talent in Toronto, and we're happy to, man, like T are showcasing it for us.
Yes, indeed. Well, you know what? I must, because I figure, you know what, and you look at it, you've got New York, you've got Los Angeles, you've got California, like within Los Angeles, you've got all these places. Atlanta, yes, that are very talented. But Toronto, it might be because of our dollar. We don't know that just yet. But Toronto, I'd say, is very talented, wouldn't you? We've got a lot of talent. For example, you've got The Weeknd. You've got Scarborough, man. And then within Ontario, you've got Justin Bieber. From Brampton, you've got Lily Singh. There's just so many people out there. And this is why I decided to sort of do this show, is to allow people to understand how much talent really lies within our own city. And it's a beautiful city too.
So much to be celebrated.
Indeed.
We gotta celebrate our local talent.
Yes. And speaking of talent, you yourself, Mikeraphone, you're a very, very talented person. I personally know you as Spud. This is, I know him as Spud.
It's my brother, neighborhood siblings, Huntingdale, Fitch's Pharmacy.
He used to be my neighbor. We used to actually be neighbors. But you know what? No matter what it is, whether it's neighbors or not, you just never know when you come across great talent.
True.
And this over here, I can tell you, Mikeraphone, aka Spud, aka Mikeraphone, is definitely a talented individual himself. Spud, you know what? And speaking of talent, I actually find it interesting because you're a teacher.
Yes, sir.
Yes. He's a hip hop artist, and on top of that, you're also a teacher.
For sure.
I think that's incredible.
Thank you. I like to define myself as a hip hop educator. I'm definitely my day job is a teacher.
Yes.
And I feel like that's right in line with hip hop, because if you go back to one of the original purposes of the culture, it was each one, reach one, teach one.
Nice.
So it's about imparting a message. I think of it like the MC, or the MC I strive to be, is continuing the griots of West African history.
Okay.
The ones that used to, before there was written history in some West African cultures.
Yes.
A person called a griot, they would hold the history in their head through rhymes, through songs, and pass it along through oral tradition.
Oh, that's beautiful.
And that eventually became the MC that we know about.
Really?
For sure.
That's very beautiful. That's awesome.
Yeah, man. We're taking it back to those days. Shout out to the educated rapper from UTFO.
Yes.
Again, each one, reach one, teach one.
So one more time.
Yep.
One more time. Reach. Was it reach?
Oh, each one.
Each one.
Reach one.
Reach one.
Teach one.
Teach one. Each one. Reach one. Teach one. I love it.
Yes, sir.
That's
I hope you were remembering that, because there will be a test on that.
Yes, and the test will be coming very, very soon on that as well.
Multiple choice though, so you have some options.
See, that's the teacher talk right there. I love it. It's perfect. So you're also a hip hop artist, of course. Apart from being a teacher.
Yes.
First of all, just a little bit of a sidetrack. Going back to the teacher talk. What grades do you teach?
I'm junior intermediate qualified, so I'm qualified to teach grades 4 to 8.
Okay.
I teach at an elementary school in Toronto.
Excellent.
This will be my 10th year. I'm starting my 10th year in September.
Oh, wow.
I've taught grade 6 for 4 years.
Wow.
I taught grade 7 for 4 years, and this will be my second year of teaching grade 8.
So altogether, you've been teaching for how long now?
9 years. I'm starting my 10th year in September.
That is incredible.
Time
Wow.
flies.
I have to give you a round
Thank
of
you, sir.
applause
Thank
to
you,
that,
sir.
definitely. That's absolutely incredible. They always say that the next generation is the new generation,
True.
right? Knowing you personally, at least, I can definitely say it's good to know that the children are in good hands.
Amen. Thank you.
Yes, that's 100%.
I definitely don't take the position lightly. It's I like to call it a beautiful struggle, to quote Talib Kweli, or more so a beautiful burden, especially grade 8.
Yes.
Trying to get them ready for high school is such a crucial and important time.
Oh, absolutely.
For them to find themselves
Yes.
and be ready for the world that's awaiting them.
That's cool. I absolutely find that very admirable.
Thank you, sir.
Not only characteristic wise, but of course as a human being, you want to go out there and you want to teach people, of course the children of our new generation, how to, I find that very admirable.
Thank you, sir.
I mean, I think that's amazing. Yes, good on you.
Thank you, sir.
Now you're also a hip hop artist, so we'll go back to that. Yes, and so hip hop wise, I know that you've actually made quite a few songs. You've got quite a few albums out there as well. What was the first album that you had made?
As a solo artist or as a group?
I would say solo artist. Yes.
Yeah. So my first solo album is 2008's Mic Check. My real name is Michael. So my official MC name, because MCs have lots of names, but my official MC title is Mikeraphone. 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 Again, hope you're paying attention. There will be a spelling test.
Better recognize, guys.
So yeah, the first solo, Mic Check, MIKECHECK, was 2008. Just a little independent album, about 12 songs.
Cool. And that was your first solo?
That was my first solo.
12 songs in your first solo album.
Sir.
Nice, perfect. And that's usually your ideal amount of songs that you'd have in an album, and you came out with it awesome. And that was, so what was the name of that album?
Mic Check. Because in hip hop, not only in hip hop, but most audio mediums, you do a little mic check to test the sound levels.
Yes.
So my first solo album was that mic check. It's me just testing my levels, where am I at, how is the audience, how is the people's feeling it, and then from there I can know how to come next time to make it even better.
Absolutely, that's excellent. We've got a we'll do a little pet thing afterwards. You guys might be hearing a little bit of background noise and some jingling. It is not Christmas time. I've got a pet cat recently, and he's really having a ball. Literally having
Shout
a ball.
out to Max.
Shout out to Max.
Panther.
Max Panther Daya is his name. So that's the background noise that you're hearing right now. I'm sorry if it does sound a little bit unprofessional, but you know what? How much more professional can you get when you got a little kitty cat? And I'll tell you what, I'll show him to you, Max, that is, at the end of the show.
It just adds more dimensions of reality to it.
I'd say so, for sure.
Cheers.
Cheers, definitely. So you know what? Let's discuss your other album right now.
Okay.
The newest one that you
Yes.
that you started working on.
I'm coming with a trilogy of Mike albums in the Mikeraphone series.
Okay.
So the first one was Mic Check 2008.
Yes.
And actually that album, Mic Check,
Yes.
it's available for free. If you go to my Bandcamp page, mikeraphone1.bandcamp.com. We interrupt this program for our commercial update.
It's the date debate. Picking up on mate, it's the date debate. Ayo, being a poet, I got away with words. Through pickup game, Mike displays his worth. Now I'ma say in verse, a tale of flirtation that orchestrated my current mate situation. Hit new bases for beats and such. Just one play, take lays, no repeat stuff. Feeling peeved cause told live I need love.
This G-Spud seems tough, maybe could be your queen card.
For real, what's the deal? Give me the basics.
Descriptions, mixed grooves in all the right places.
So, Mikeraphone, tell me a little bit about the new album that's coming out right now, please.
So my new album, Mic Support, that's the follow-up to 2008's Mic Check.
Yes.
I'm really proud of this album, Mic Support. In terms of like the audio quality, it's professional because I actually went to a real studio. Shout out to Phase 1 Studios at McNichol and Kennedy. Shout out to Dejan.
In fact, the studio, sorry to interrupt, the studio that you were recording at, a lot of reputable people recorded there as well.
Yeah.
Like Drake records there, Rihanna recorded there, Michael Jackson's recorded there.
You go along the wall, it shows you their accolades. But big up Dejan, he's engineer #1. So yeah, like definitely I wanted to be more professional with this album, so I put in the money to go to the studio. In terms of like the content, I feel like I've stepped up my pen game a lot. Coming out of my little comfort zone or what I'm used to, try to challenge myself with some different type of topics and different ways of coming on a track. So
excellent. And when you say pen game, you mean like as in
writing
rhymes? Yes.
Sure.
No, that's excellent. I find that very, again, and not only the fact that you are a hip hop artist, but you were a teacher. Do you feel personally that you combine the two together?
For sure, most definitely.
Yeah, within your hip hop styles.
Most definitely. It's like the phrase. I didn't originate this phrase, but the phrase that sums it up perfectly is edutainment.
Yes.
Edutainment, educational entertainment.
Educational
and again, that's just keeping in line with hip hop's one of hip hop's original foundations, which was to entertain, but also pass on a message. Same time you're at the party having fun, moving to the beat.
Yes.
Being impressed by the rhymes, you also got a little message. You got some jewels there as well.
Absolutely. No, and I completely agree with that. And I know personally because I was actually there when you recorded a couple of your songs.
He blessed us with this session, and
Yes, and thank you for having me, and thank you for blessing me within the sessions as well. There was a few songs that you've recorded within that album. Do you mind if I mention a couple of your songs right now? So one of them, first of all, was Date Debate.
Yes, sir.
The other one was about WooDot.
Yes, sir.
Right. So tell me a little bit about WooDot.
WooDot. Okay. Well. Firstly, there's videos for all of those joints that we're going to be talking about, so please check them out.
Yes.
You can type in Mikeraphone Hip Hop on YouTube, then you'll get my channel, MIKERAPHONE.
I'll put a link below.
But yeah, WooDot, what that was basically born out of. Shout out to Wu-Tang. We are Wu-Tang disciples. We went to a concert, Ghostface's concert. I think it was like 2011. He has this routine where he calls people out of the audience to go on stage and rap. And my boy, shout out to Vikas, he got Ghost's attention so that I could go up on stage and rap ODB's verse. Beautiful. And then my boy J God, he was called up to rap Method Man's verse.
Awesome.
So we represented for Toronto, man. We both gave our all on that stage, and the crowd was supporting us. Ghost was impressed. Ghost even
this
tweeted,
was live on stage with
Ghostface,
with the peeps from Wu-Tang
and some Theodore unit men.
That's amazing.
Respect. That's
really cool.
Word up. And Ghost was impressed. Like he tweeted, renaming TDOT, Toronto fans ain't nothing to F with.
Yes.
We saw that, and that was just inspiration for J God and myself to say, yo, why don't we like use that title and make a song about it? And so it's a dub plate where we took 3 Wu-Tang beats.
Yes.
I rapped over a Jizza solo, Silent. J God rapped over Reunited, and then we both did a back and forth over For Heaven's Sake.
That's amazing. Wow.
us doing Protect Your Neck was on stage.
Got you.
And we put some of that footage into the music video.
I see.
But then we followed up
so
by...
the footage of, like, as in the video footage, as well as from the intro for the music video, particularly.
Exactly.
That's cool. And they can find the music video on YouTube?
Yeah, man. Check out my YouTube channel. Type in Mikeraphone Hip Hop, MIKERAPHONE Hip Hop. Type that in YouTube, and you'll see all the videos.
That's Mike, MIKE, R-A, phone, PHONE, hip hop. One word. Type that into YouTube, and you've got him right there.
Subscribe, and you'll be well rewarded with some great hip hop.
Absolutely, absolutely. But I still do want to talk about other stuff with
course.
you. So we've got a song that I actually personally find is pretty cool. We've got Tour Ontario.
Yes, sir. TDOT'S Talent.
Tell me a little bit about that. What inspired you to make that song?
Well, what inspired me to make that song is just coming out of Toronto. I mean, it's in hip hop. It's all about representing who you are, where you're from, and I'm just trying to continue with legacy of men like Cardinal Official, coming with the anthem, Maestro and Rich Kid, coming with Born in Toronto.
The Toronto people.
You know, we always represent where we're from. So, but I wanted to take it a little step further than just Toronto to also include our province too. And I felt like, you know how it started off as Toronto, and then Toronto absorbed the other boroughs, and it became metropolitan Toronto. And then we have the Greater Toronto area.
And then the GTA, exactly.
So I'm like, yo, we're not just stopping there. We're gonna take over the whole province.
100%.
Toronto, Ontario.
Yes.
And if you check the chorus, shout out to IRS from Monolith. My boy Royce Birth, who produced the Torontario track, and you can see him in the video, Torontario. He sampled Earth saying, making T-Dot the capital of North America. So our plan is to expand across the whole continent. But we're going to start at least with the province.
And it's actually interesting that you mentioned Royce Birth. I gave him a quick shout today, and just left him a voicemail asking him if he's okay to perhaps do a T-Dot talent show. Hopefully he does. I'm sure he'll be down.
I'm sure he'll be willing to bless your show, and he'll be, I'm sure, happy for the opportunity.
Absolutely agreed.
So Radio was our first video, and shout out to the executive. He's in it, does a cameo as the villain.
I am an actor. I am an actor in that music video. I play the radio station manager in that particular music video, and it was actually a really fun time to shoot as well.
Shout out to York U, my old alma mater where we filmed. Shout out to 105.5. Check them out for some good music, local music as well.
And in fact, what we'll do is I'm going to show a quick clip right now.
Perfect.
You feeling us? It's GBC, and where we be, I like the cars. Vibe with us. It's GBC, that's who we be.
Globally broadcast, channeling hip hop. Kiss airtime goodbye. Jack like pick locks, don't gotta spit pop. To bounce off satellites, outcomes to fall flat. If all you rap is right, you can't match my height. I'll see and tower over you. Even change in station can't hold your tune. Like soldier boot camps, programming kills. Paper playlist bills, they be jamming skills.
Radio. Love it. Absolutely love that song. Talk to me a little bit about that. So first of all, who wrote that song?
Cool. Well, it's a collaborative project. Pretty much how we get down is everybody writes their own stuff, their own verses. So the main, in addition to Guyana Bus Crew, GBC stands for Guyanese Blooded Canadians, and it's pretty much most of us within the crew. A couple of us, we noticed that we're all first-generation Canadians of Guyanese background.
Right.
So we just came up with the name Guyana Bus Crew and decided to make this one-off little EP, little 12-track EP. And so Radio was the song. It features Royce Birth. He raps first. Myself, Mikeraphone, I rap second. And then my boy Matrix Logic, he raps third. Matrix Logic also did the beat. And then we're very, very blessed to have another Guyanese blooded Canadian, Tracy Soman, very talented singer, beautiful, talented singer who's going to do big things. I anticipate she'll be on T-Dot's Talent in no time soon.
Nice.
She blessed us with her vocals. In terms of the hook, it was a collaboration between Matrix Logic, Tracy, and myself. We kind of all made the hook together.
That's cool. And you know what? Actually, Tracy, I do know Tracy's uncle.
Oh, cool.
It's a very small world, isn't it? So I used to work at a particular job, and Tracy's uncle was there, and he was one of the head of the product managers and stuff like that. It was pretty cool. It was awesome.
6 degrees of separation.
Yes, exactly. How long did it take you, by the way, to make GBC Radio?
Well, radio originally dates back to 2011. That's when we started putting it together. I would say we finished recording it in 2012 at a professional studio, Phase 1.
Yes,
shout out Kennedy and
shout out to Phase 1 for sure.
And then we did the video as well. So yeah, that dates back to 2012, I would say, is when it was officially finished.
Wow, that's incredible. You know, and okay, so here's the thing. I know Bassman, who's also part of GBC.
And
yes.
Bassman is, we all have nicknames. Bassman, performance-wise, is known as Matrix Logic. He's a dope producer and a dope rapper as well. He's got that awesome voice.
Yeah, absolutely. He's very, very talented. He's a radio host,
yes,
actually, up in Vancouver.
Kelowna, BC.
There it is. So Bassman, I know that was up in Vancouver by the time that you guys were recording and ready to do all that stuff. Were there any sort of trials, tribulations, obstacles that you might had to have overcome during that period of time while you guys were recording?
Mostly just geography, and mostly it was a lesson in patience. Like, you know, we could have done stuff where we record, he records there and he sends stuff. We could have done that, but we chose to kind of wait till everybody was all together so we could vibe off that live energy, be in the same studio. So it's basically just a lesson in patience and waiting for the right times for things to come together.
That's beautiful. I personally feel that the song Radio should be on the radio.
Likewise, thank you.
Yes.
And speaking of radio, we have gotten some love. Shout out to MaximumFM.ca, specifically the 3 to 6 show, Chris Scott Rocks, and DJ Shortcut. In addition to having their own awesome show, 3 to 6, they've been very gracious at playing radio and other microphone songs or songs that feature microphones. So shout out, thanks to the love.
That's beautiful. So that's where people can go to go ahead and check out the song Radio.
Yes, sir.
Where can they go ahead and check out more of your albums?
Well, if you're a visual learner, you can check out my YouTube channel. In YouTube, type in Mikeraphone Hip Hop, MIKERAPHONE Hip Hop, Mikeraphone Hip Hop. Just type that in YouTube and the channel will pop up. But if you want to actually have the most direct contact with the music, I would say go to my Bandcamp page, microphone1.bandcamp.com. Microphone1.bandcamp.com. And I have pretty much almost all the music I've done up there. My first whole solo album, Mic Check, that whole album is there for free download.
That's beautiful.
Yes,
Thank
sir.
you for doing that for the community and for everybody that needs a little bit of hip hop in their life. Why not go ahead and have some free hip hop in your life?
Yeah, man.
Absolutely. That's good of you. Thank you for doing that.
And radio too is even a free download as well. Radio, you can check that out. Mic support though, I am charging for that. That's the current project that I'm promoting now. So that one, you know, it's for sale.
So Mikeraphone. Let me ask you this about Marvel versus DC. This is pretty
DC
cool.
versus Marvel.
We were just talking about Finaxis.
Sure.
Now, what you did was pretty incredible, I'd say. You did a Marvel sort of genre kind of track where you were talking about how the Marvel characters are, and you were talking on behalf of the Marvel characters as well. And then Finaxis, who's going to be on our show again very soon, he ended up coming through and did the DC version of it.
Sure.
I thought that was pretty cool. Tell me what inspired you for that.
Well, firstly, big up Finaxis.
Yes, indeed.
That's my homie, and like, there's no microphone without Finaxis. He plugged microphone in, is how I like to say it. Finaxis plugged in microphone. Back in like the early 90s, 2001, when we were looking for a place to record our first independent stuff, he graciously blessed us to provide beats and record us in his danger room bedroom studio.
In his bedroom.
His bedroom.
That's cool. That's awesome.
That's
so he
underground.
He was there and he had his studio kind of like I do.
That's true. Very true.
But back in the what year was it?
2001.
That's awesome. That's really cool. You see, and this is a bit of a flashback, isn't it? Yeah, that's cool.
Sure.
Yes.
But so big up Finaxis. We're both comic heads. We both love comics, and in the 90s, for those who are comic heads, there was this crossover event. DC and Marvel have always been competitors, and some geniuses there figured out, why don't we do a crossover comic where we take Marvel characters and DC characters and have them fight, and then they had the public vote on who's gonna win. So for example, they had Batman versus Wolverine. They had Spider-Man versus Superboy, etc., etc.
Right.
So we're both comic heads, we're both hip hop heads. We figured, yo, why don't we combine the two and we'll make a rap battle where he battles me using DC and I battle him using Marvel.
Cool. That's awesome. Wow.
But at the end of the day, we're taking it back to hip hop origins, which is battling to build, not to destroy. So even at the end of the day, it's friendly competition. So we all still shake hands and show peace. You know.
You know what? I'm going to shake your hand to that one too, because that's actually very blessed. And hip hop is a very beautiful type of genre of music as well, in the sense of you spit what you spit. You know what I mean? So some of the hip hop out there, I don't really. You've got people like Loki. You've got people like you know, Mikeraphone. You've got people like Finaxis. You've got people like Royce Birth. All these guys,
so
their hip hop is, yes, it is so much more, and it's so much more. I personally find, because they're completely talking from the heart.
Yeah, man, heart and soul is in it.
Yes, absolutely. Now, I do want to take a quick second and just sort of give you a little bit of a representation over here. We've got a couple of albums over here. Now, Date Debate.
Yes.
In fact, before I show the albums, let's just discuss Date Debate for a second.
Nice. I'm happy you brought that one.
Yes. What was your mind frame when you were writing? I presume you wrote that song.
Yo, I mean, it's different strokes for different folks. But anything I spit, I wrote myself. Anything I spit, I wrote myself. I'm from that different type of school where you gotta write your own rhymes. I have one small minor exception, and this is, we talk about ghostwriters. I got a ghostwriter for real. Shout out to DEK, it's our brother from Huntingdale.
You know, back in the day. From back in the day.
He passed away. But I'm blessed to have his rhyme book. So I've taken like a couple of his lines to make some choruses.
That's cool.
Right? So
that's very blessed.
Other than that,
that's very blessed.
Yo, my pen game is strictly mine. I don't play no other people writing for me.
Absolutely. I remember one of DEK's, one of Deck's, we call him Deck, one of DEK's famous lines, I guess you could say, at least famous within our circle of stuff, is testing 1 2 9.
That's what's up.
You remember that?
Yo, of course. Yo.
That was cool, man. Testing 1 2 9.
Yo, let me show you this. Basically, that was outtakes when we were recording our first ever project with Finaxis, the Scarlet Scars EP. And let me show you this. Every single solo album I've starts that way.
Really?
With Dwayne counting me in. You know, so that's to show that he's not here physically, but he's here in spirit.
That's very true.
We're going to continue the work that he helped start.
100%. And I feel like a lot of talent has unfortunately gone throughout life, but they are here in spirit, and that I definitely do agree with for sure. So Date Debate. Yeah. So
yeah, man. Basically, I that's something I wrote. But the interesting story about that was the concept isn't mine. I was kind of hired, if you will, by my homeboy Live. Shout out to Live, my homeboy from Lieberman, and he's doing his own big thing. An ill producer, ill rapper. Very proud of him.
What's up, Live?
So he came to me in high school. He's like, yo, I got a concept for you. Can you write this? I'm not gonna spoil it for you because I want you to check the video. But he said, I want you to write this song where it's about picking up a special lady, but there's a little twist as to who the special lady is.
Cool.
So I thought about it, and I'm like, yeah, man, I'm gonna write that. And it took a while. Like, he first came to me with that concept back in like 2001, and we just put that out in like 2014, 15.
Wow. When did you film it? Because you do have a music video out for Date Debate now.
Yes, sir.
When did you film the music video?
That was August of 2015, so last year summer.
Really?
Yes, sir.
And who directed that? Do you want to give him a shout out?
Of course, yeah. Big up Jason Baskey. For my solo project, I started working with Jason Baskey, and Jay did it, and he blessed me with 2 awesome videos. He directed Torontario and Date Debate, and they both turned out beautifully.
They did.
And don't take my word for it. Click, check out the links. Check out Mikeraphone Hip Hop on YouTube. Look at the Torontario and Date Debate video, and you'll see what's up.
And again, that's MIKERAPHONE Hip Hop.
Yeah, man. Type that in.
That's his channel. Subscribe to his channel. Check it out because he definitely does have some really awesome music out there.
Thank you, B.
That's for sure. Thank you for putting out awesome music. That's 100%. So, Mikeraphone, there is another question that I do have for you. What would you say would be the difference between, if you do have to say it, what would you think would be the difference, or how would you explain the difference between hip hop and rap?
Excellent. I'm so happy you asked that question because that's a difference that does need to be addressed and known.
Yes.
I'll start with the quote. Rap is something you do. Hip hop is something you live. Rap is just one element. It's an activity, which with other elements and activities becomes the bigger part, the bigger package of hip-hop. Hip-hop is the culture. It's the overall spirit represented by certain elements. Rap just happens to be one of them. Rap is the music. Hip-hop culture is beyond music.
Yes.
It's 9 elements. There's 4 or 5 rather artistic elements. We have graffiti art, DJing, the backbone of hip-hop culture, breakdancing, MCing, beatboxing. Those are the more artistic musical type of elements. Then you have street entrepreneurship, street knowledge, street fashion, and street slang, right?
Yes.
So 9 elements, like 9 planets, right? Rap is only one small part of it.
So you're saying rap is, yes, it's music,
Yes.
as is hip hop.
Yes.
But hip hop is more of a culture.
Yes, exactly.
As opposed to just the music
Just the
aspect
music, exactly.
of it.
That's the key.
And I kind of agree with you on, well, not kind of, I definitely agree with you on that. In the sense of that's exactly what it is,
Yes.
right? Hip hop is a culture.
Number 1.
You've got the dancing,
Yup.
you've got the music,
Yup.
you've got the food,
Yup,
you've
true.
got you've got it all.
visual art.
Yes.
The way to dress,
but
the way to-
rap is the music and just pretty much just the music,
Yep.
and that's what it pretty much comes down to.
And it's one part of the music. It's the spoken part of the music because you have the DJs making the music as well. Without the DJs, there is no hip hop culture. They're the backbone. You have the beatboxers too, when maybe the electricity wasn't working or you don't have access to
Yes.
records.
No, you're right. You
Or-
can,
or
you can
CDs,
one could
right?
definitely throw down a beatbox.
You've done that a couple times.
I have definitely done that a couple of times. Within this show, I guarantee you will see me beatboxing.
Uh-oh.
That is for sure.
Sounds like a freestyle session.
That is for
It's in the
sure.
works.
Freestyle session is definitely going to be. Are you down to the freestyle?
Always, man.
later on?
Always be.
Yeah.
For fun, man. We kick it.
Oh, that is
For sure.
awesome. Thank you. We get to freestyle. Well, he gets to freestyle and we get to hear him out. And you also get to see a little bit of this guy over here
What's up,
behind.
Max?
There's a little kitty cat behind him right there.
Yo, this is LL Cool J's Walking with the Panther. We're going to remake the cover. This is
Speaking
my
of Panther, have you watched Black Panther before?
Oh, I love Black Panther, yo. He's an awesome superhero.
Yes.
Very, very necessary. He's the first black superhero that was like the main character that wasn't like a sidekick or something, on the side.
Yes.
And it's so important that we're having that movie come out. It's February 2018, the Black Panther solo movie.
Oh, really?
Yeah, man.
Oh, nice. That's awesome.
Very empowering.
Is it a cartoon or is
No,
it
it's a live
animated?
action movie.
It's a live action
Live action
movie.
movie.
You've seen the animated one,
Yes,
which is
yes,
the one we're
the one
referring
that was
to.
on BET.
And here's the thing. Here's the cool thing about Black Panther, right?
Mhm.
At least what I find is, first of all, Samuel L. Jackson does his voice.
Oh, shit, I didn't even know that. That's Samuel L.
Isn't it
Jackson?
Samuel L. Jackson?
I have no idea.
I'm pretty sure Samuel L. Jackson, no, I'm wrong. I'm completely wrong. Samuel L. Jackson does Afro Samurai.
Yeah, that's Afro Samurai.
Yes, who's also really cool.
That's a whole nother.
That's another
sick
one.
universe.
That is completely my bad. I do apologize for that
It's all gravy.
discrepancy. I'm not sure who does Black Panther, but Black Panther is definitely a good. It's a good show for
sure.
definitely. Now there is another question that not a question actually. I should probably. You know what? I'm going to cut it right now because we are limited on time.
True.
What I will do, because we still have to freestyle. You
Yes, sir.
promised me a
Oh, of course,
freestyle,
man.
so we're
I'm
doing
always down.
that.
That's
Okay,
fun.
so
I
that's.
like to build.
I do want to kind of give a few of your albums a shout out.
Cool, please.
The first album that I want to give a shout out to, we were talking about GBC
Yes,
earlier. The hit track is Radio, which I personally think should actually be on the radio.
Please play that.
So here is the you know what, let me go around over here for a second. Let me show them what's real good right here right now.
This is the merchandise segment.
I'm going to talk about this album over here for a second, and I'm going to go back to my seat. But I do want to talk about this album over here.
That's what's up. That's the new goodness. Mike support.
Yes.
Getting to work.
Yes. So this album is called Mike Support,
Mike support.
and it is got all of the songs actually that we've mentioned
Yes.
is on this album. So we've got Date Debate.
Yes, sir.
Woo Dot
Dot.
is on this one here. Toronto.
Ontario.
And even the ones with Marvel versus DC.
Yes, sir.
The
DC
Marvel
versus Marvel.
series. Yes, that's awesome. And
Radio
of course,
too?
yes, I was going to say the uplifting radio. The GBC radio is the radio by GBC rather is up on this album as well. So make sure you check it out. It is Mike Support. And they can find this one where?
You can find this on my Bandcamp page, Mikeraphone 1. mikeRaphone1.bandcamp.com. So yeah, this is my second solo mic support. If you check out mikeRaphone1.bandcamp.com, you can check this album out. I sell it for $10, or individual songs you can get for $1. Mic support, mikeRaphone1.bandcamp.com. You know, I just keep it true to myself. I just keep it real to who I am. And an artist's job is not only to entertain, but if you're an artist, there's a difference between artist and entertainer. An artist should be entertaining, but an artist is also responsible for depicting reality, the complete picture.
So, Mikeraphone, there is one more question that I do have to ask over here, and you've got the kitty right in your back.
Walking with the panther. What's up, Max?
The question that I do have to have, and this is in regards to mic support, but also thereafter.
Okay.
Are you working on any projects afterwards?
Yes. Mic support's my second solo album.
Yes.
And it's the second in a trilogy of the mic series.
Okay.
Mic check number 1, mic support number 2, and I'm working on my last solo album, Mic All. My name is Michael. My last album is going to be called Mic All. MIKE, capital ALL.
Cool.
And I'm currently working on that. I pretty much have all the concepts for songs. I'm in the process of getting beats and just starting to write that. So, you know, Mic All coming sooner than later.
That's cool. So, you and I have actually written a song, as well as Loki, for the song for Mic All. Yeah. Then I think that's going to be pretty awesome.
Yes,
we're going to record that, and it's going to sound absolutely incredible. And that I know, because we've got two really talented people
TDOT'S talent
up on that. His track, Loki's written his stuffs, I've written my stuffs, and I'm pretty sure it's going to turn out pretty amazing.
Old stuff.
Yeah. So that's going to be your last solo album.
Yes.
How come?
You know, usually movies come in trilogies, and I figured like I'm kind of writing a movie, an audio-visual movie, so to speak, with this music, and then I really don't have anything else that I want to do in terms of like a solo artist with this music. I actually do want to move on to getting a book of poems published, so that would be the next goal.
That's beautiful. A couple of things I have to say to that is, one, that you say you try to get your art to another level.
Yes.
First of all, your art is already at another level.
Thank you.
I do want to say that. I absolutely adore your art. I think that you're very good at what it is that you do. And then, you know, not to mention the project that you're doing with your last solo album.
Yes.
The name of the album again, one more time?
Mic All.
Mic
All, Microphone, Mic All.
And so what you're doing with that, that's going to be your last solo album.
Yes.
One question for you is, are you planning on doing collabs with other people?
Oh, of course,
in the
man.
near future?
If people want to build with me, if I'm feeling your skill and what you're about, I'm definitely open to always collaborate.
Excellent.
Sure.
Yeah, that's good. So, and do you think maybe after you're done collabs, you might feel like you might want to go back to the solo?
This is the thing, right? It's like a cliche with rappers. Oh, I'm retiring, and then they come out of retirement.
Yes.
Look how many times has Jay-Z retired, you know?
Yes, no, that's true.
Finaxis is just coming out of retirement now. Happy to hear that. Look forward to his new project. I won't say too much because that's I don't want to spoil it.
Hush on that. We'll let him talk about that when he comes here on the show.
As it is now, the plan is that Mic All is going to be the be-all and end-all, but you never know where life will take you.
No, that's amazing. I think that's, you know, you yourself as a human being, I admire you because, yes, you are a teacher. And yes, you were a very good hip-hop artist. And yes, you were a very good poet as well. There's another thing that we were talking about, and that's the book. You wanted to publish a book.
Yes.
A poetry, was it a poetry book?
A book of poems.
This was backstage, we were talking about this. That's interesting. I like that. Tell me a little bit about that.
Well, before I even got into hip-hop and before I started rapping, I was a poet first and foremost. And you can trace that to like kindergarten times, nursery rhymes, that type of thing.
Yes.
As early as I could write, I remember writing rhymes. And over the years, I've written lots of poems. Some have been published in like newspapers, in some books, some anthologies. Basidi, shout out to Fiona Ray Clark.
Yes.
She's the editor of that. She put together an anthology dedicated to Black youth. This was in like 2012, I believe.
Is that the book? Is that the book?
Yes.
Yes. And you had like 4 pages in that book or something.
I have
3 or 4
an
pages.
essay. And I have a poem in there.
See, I love it. That's amazing. See, so there's basically what he's saying is there's a book out there called
Basidi.
And within the book, he's got a particular amount of pages allocated where he actually wrote. And it was an essay. How many pages was your essay?
I think the essay was like 5 or 6 pages. The essay was about how in Canada, education or lack thereof has been used to belittle African Canadians. It was a historical piece on racism.
I actually read it.
Oh, cool.
I did. And you also did. And then there was, so apart from the essay, there was also a poem.
There was a poem.
How many pages was your poem?
The poem was 1 page, I believe, or 1 page back and front.
Perfect.
It's a poem about identity, being a Guyanese-blooded Canadian, being a visible minority in a world that doesn't always welcome you. It's navigating and finding where do you belong.
Yes. You know what? Speaking of this talk, first of all, I think that again, that's very admirable characteristic for you to have. The fact that you're going around and writing pages in books. I think that's really cool.
Shout out to Fiona Ray Clark for the opportunity to be part of that, because it wasn't just me.
Indeed.
There was lots of other talented Mindbender, Dante King, even Fiona Ray Clark herself wrote some pieces, fiction and nonfiction. So yeah.
No, that's amazing. Thank you, Fiona Ray Clark, for doing that as well. Let's go ahead and, if you don't mind, on a personal note before we go ahead on the freestyle. So just because we're on the topic,
yes.
What do you think about the? If you don't mind me asking about the situation that's going around right now when it comes to, you know, the police officers that are of the Caucasian race,
yes.
Sort of what they claim to say are against the African Americans.
Okay. Well, bullying goes beyond any color lines. You know, you even have some black officers that are racist towards visible minorities, to black people. So you have people in positions of power. There's even in my profession, in teaching, even parents, you know, some people in positions of power abuse their power.
That is very true.
What I think about that, I think it's horrible, because these are people that we are entrusting with such an important job, supposed to be
Authority.
keeping us safe, supposed to be looking out for us.
Yes.
But some of them have their own biases and prejudice and power trips, and they're just lashing out at people. I mean, of course, there are cops that are noble and decent in doing their job. But what I would like to see is disregarding the blue line. It seems like, as a whole, the police seem to like defend each other, as opposed to pointing out and ridiculing those cops that abuse their power and that you know, go too far. Like, for example, rest in peace to Sami Yatin and the person who got charged with killing them. Right? That was his life didn't need to be taken. Right?
I believe his name is
James Forcillo. Yeah. Even though he's been convicted and facing sentencing, his union are, you know, staunchly defending him. I know that's their job, but still, sometimes you gotta look past the job and your party lines. Like, yo, this guy abused his power and ended someone's life. Like, because there was 3 shots let off. Dude's already dead on the floor bleeding out. And then another 3 shots let off. Like, that shows you there's something going on there with abuse of a power and authority.
I 100% agree with you. And in fact, Mikeraphone, if you don't mind me asking, if you were to, for example, be the head of the police department, what would be the number one thing that you would change, in the sense of, yeah, it could be, you know, officers get suspended without pay instead of with pay,
true.
Certain things like that. But in the top of your mind, what do you think it would be that you would change if you were to be the head of the police department?
Well, I gotta say, firstly, that's a very serious, heavy mental question. I've never really considered that, so I appreciate that.
Yes.
For making me consider that.
Absolutely.
Without having all that background knowledge, what I would say was better accountability and just cops holding other cops accountable, not just like defending them and saying, oh, he's my brother in arms.
Not the brotherhood kind of thing.
Yeah, blind brotherhood, no. If your brother is doing something wrong, your brother should be called out for it, or your brother should be chastised, not like, you know, cover it up or just minimize it. So
do you see sort of the police force as a legal mafia?
In some regards, you can say that, yes, because there are dirty cops. There are cops that are affiliated with criminal organizations and, you know, just are like, so lots of rappers have said it, the cops are the biggest gang, you know? And again, this is not to say all cops, because there's lots of cops, we know cops personally that are good, that are noble dudes that do their job, but of course there are some bad apples in the batch.
Absolutely. And it's kind of like that everywhere, though,
yes.
right? And it's unfortunate, as it is. I think a lot of people do get power hungry.
Yes.
They're given a little bit of power, and they take it to the complete
Yes.
max unnecessarily. I do appreciate the police officers that are out there that actually do
course, man. Shout out.
their job very, very well.
One more thing I would say, like, I think that the relationship between community and the police needs to be
Hand in
need to
hand.
be refocused, to be looking at it like not we're policing you, we're controlling you. We are with you. We
With
are
you.
part of the community.
Yes,
We're
yes.
working with you to keep us all safe.
I think that's a huge point for you to make, and it is the truth.
Yes.
To be honest with you.
I hope and think that Police Chief Mark Saunders, the rhetoric is coming out that he wants that to happen. Hopefully, the reality matches it with the training and the new accountability that we hope is put forward.
With the new Prime Minister,
Yes, Justin Trudeau.
yes, I know that his father has done quite a bit for minorities.
For sure.
Do you think that his son will sort of follow in his father's footsteps, do you think?
I hope so. It's very early to say, but I hope so that he continues that legacy of, Canada being more than just one image, Canada being, multicultural,
Yes.
Canada being open and about celebrating difference. There's a difference. A lot of people use this word, we're going to tolerate these immigrants, or we're going to tolerate foreigners. I don't want to be tolerated. That's like you're putting up with me.
Exactly.
I want to be accepted.
Yeah.
Right? So,
But and I personally feel there isn't even a need really to be accepted. We're only human beings, and we bleed red.
Yep.
We're all the same. Just because the outside looks a little bit different doesn't mean shit. To me, at least.
No, you're right, B.
It doesn't. And pardon my French on that one. The producers are going to
excusez-moi.
Yeah.
One blood, one love. One blood, one love.
And I agree, 100%. Because we all bleed red.
Yes, sir.
And we all love. We all feel. And that's what, look, I'm looking at a sign right now that says a happy home is filled with love and laughter. And for me to see that, I don't just want it to be inside my own humble abode. My humble abode should be the world that I live in.
Yes, the global village.
And for me to feel that other people that are out there, the African Americans mainly, are out there not doing anything wrong and getting kind of in shit for things that they haven't done anything for. Getting shot in the back.
Yeah, that's some nonsense.
Certain things like that, I completely disagree with. Right? I personally feel that there's other situations and other ways of handling it.
For sure. And of course, like we're not saying every interaction with cops and black people is is unfair or is not like justified. If some people are committing a crime, they need to be arrested or whatever. But there's ways you can go about doing it that don't have to be
bullying.
And they don't have to be bullying.
I think that's what it is. I think what they're doing is they're power hungry.
Yes.
A lot of them, not all of them, but a lot of them are
them.
power hungry, and I think they're sort of taking advantage.
Yep.
Taking a lot of people's kindnesses for weaknesses as well.
For sure.
I know when I didn't do anything wrong and I got pulled over just for being who I am, the skin color that I have, it didn't feel too great.
Not at all.
And they were definitely bullying me.
Yep.
And there were older people as well. You would figure, hey, you know what, you're in your 50s, guy. You've probably been on the force long enough to know, good from bad. I haven't done anything wrong. You've ran my plates. Everything is all good. What's the problem, really? What is the issue? You know what I mean? And I think color is a thing.
For sure,
right?
we can't deny that, man. And that's my issue with like Michael McCormick and the police line advocates who are not really recognizing that there is this systemic racism and that there are these portion of police officers that have their isms, whether it's racism, classism, sexism, or whatever. They're kind of like denying that or trying to overlook it just so they can defend their brothers in arms.
100%.
But it's not called for.
No, I agree. Again, we all bleed red.
Yep.
We are all human. We all speak. We all dance. We all move as much as we can. And for anybody to be degraded for the color of their skin, you would think that would have been over when it was supposed to be over. And when it was supposed to be over is when slavery goddamn days were over. And those days are long gone. But are they really?
No, exactly.
Are they really? Exactly. And I personally feel they're not.
No.
Listen, again, we are short of time a little bit.
can build for a day.
Producer is making a lot of noise over there in the background. Please do one thing, is check. Do you mind passing that over to me, Mrs. Producer? The other one over there.
Just the second one, or you can pass it.
That's fine. That works. Thank you. But please do be sure to check out mic support. We were going to go to the castle room to go ahead and do the freestyle. Do you want to just do the freestyle over here?
I'm good.
Yeah?
Wherever's clever, man.
Over here is okay?
It ain't about the space. It's about the mind state.
It's not about the place. It's about the mind state.
You know,
it's not about the space.
rhymes
it's about the mind state.
Coming through with that, like that Corona with the lime taste, mad refreshing. Coming through TDOT'S talent, first session. It's a blessing. Mic support. Hope you be considering clicking on Bandcamp so you can download and see how our whole camp is amped. Gonna bring light like the lamps over there. Peace to Angie, she's got her cleaning going on so we can shine. Moving it like chess, there's pawns in the corner. Coming through, not trying to see a coroner or death, but living forever. Exhaling it like breath. Inside my chest is buried treasure, meaning my heart. Coming through to bring light to the dark. From Scarborough we spark. This is it, son, rhyming from the heart. My man playing the ebony keys and chords.
Playing it off my desk.
The desk that is also a musical instrument. Playing the piano. These MCs need some Drano, cause they got that lane flow that's clogged up. Coming through, son, yo, I never lost. What? And if I did, I learned for next time, so I can have the victory. Gonna come through, peace to the Blue Jays, they won today, hopefully Boston loses. Microphone, I say I'm drinking my orange juices. No excuses for not being on time with the rhyme. Tighter than nooses around the necks of those who persecuted. Is it over? Nope, not yet. Like T was saying, no regrets, cause you gotta learn from the steps to correct it. Up like a jetpack, blasting forth with my rap. Peace to champion, he be studying his math and science. Coming through, son, I'm blinded with the shine. How my brothers be relying. Coming through, sometimes you'll be sighing, but we just pick ourselves up. Always trying, even if you fail, go again. Cause then you never, ever really end. Just trying, continue in, representing for Scarlem and the men them. SPUD, my man T with the beatbox abilities. Yo, we doing it. You study it like it was some Shakespeare soliloquy. Do it with ease. Coming through, son, getting hot even without trees. I know my brethren, he be getting the buzz from the wisers, I mean to say. I be spud, coming through, son, yo, I never come with delay. Like an echo, feedback on the mic. Coming through to get it hype, blow up like dynamite. Yo, we keep it tight, cause we be neighborhood siblings. This is it, son, we building.
That's beautiful, I love it.
Respect.
Thank you very much for joining me.
Thank you.
Thank you. Look, we got the crowd already loving it. Ladies and gentlemen, I just once again want to show you one thing. And this is, and not only show you one thing, but also tell you one thing. This right here, in order, is Mikeraphoneh's stuffs. We've got GBC Radio. That's right. The GBC album right here. Oh, no, that's not the GBC. That's the Mikeraphone album. I'm sorry. I completely messed that one up. We've got the Mikeraphone album over here. His very, very first album. Solo album. Most definitely. Then over here we've got GBC.
Guyana Bus Crew.
The Guyana Bus Crew
Voice
over here.
Matrix Logic, Tracy Soman, Serge Cess on production and rhymes. Bless Daga for the feature.
And we've got the
Mic Support, the new album available. Check me out, miceraphone1.bandcamp.com. Mikeraphone1.bandcamp.com. Mic Support, 16 ill tracks. 4 videos, live videos on YouTube. Mikeraphone Hip Hop. And I'm not spoiling too much, but we got one more ill video coming out as well. But check this out, my best album ever.
The newest album.
Mic Support.
With Date Debate, with Move Dot, with Torontario, with Marvel vs. DC
versus Marvel.
with GBC's Radio. This is perfect. This is gonna be good. Guys, check out the album. Make sure you check it out.
Give Mic Support with Mic Support.
And peace out.
Peace.
Thank you very much for joining us, and thank you for joining me.
My pleasure, man.
I really do.
Much success. I'm gonna subscribe, and I'm gonna check out TDOT'S talent. I know with all the talent we have in the city, you're gonna have lots of ill
You don't
episodes.
even really need to subscribe because you're already in it. You know what I mean? You feel me? You know you're already in it, B.
That's what's up.
You don't even need to subscribe. You're already in it.
That's
But
what's
please
up.
do subscribe.
Subscribe too.
Please do subscribe, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you again,
My pleasure,
Mikeraphone.
brother. Thank you.
God bless. Peace.
TDOT'S talent.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mikeraphone.
Peace.
Hey.